Global tension. Goodbye to the dollar. In a move that has shaken the foundations of the global financial system, the president of Brazil, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, has proposed the creation of a new common currency for the Brics. This coalition of emerging economies, made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, seeks to challenge the dominance of the US dollar in international trade. Lula argues that a Brics currency would reduce dependence on the dollar and strengthen the financial autonomy of the bloc. The proposal has generated intense debate worldwide. Supporters of the initiative see it as a necessary step to break free from the dominance of the dollar and establish a fairer and more multipolar financial system. They argue that a Brics currency would boost trade between member countries, reduce transaction costs, and protect their economies from dollar fluctuations. However, the proposal has also generated criticism and skepticism. Some analysts question the viability of a Brics currency, arguing that there are significant differences between the bloc's economies and that a lack of mutual trust could undermine the stability of the new currency. Furthermore, they warn that the move could provoke retaliation from the United States, which would not look favorably on the challenge to the dollar's supremacy. The proposal for a Brics currency represents a direct challenge to the supremacy of the US dollar in the international financial system. For decades, the dollar has been the global reserve currency used in most international trade transactions. This has given the United States considerable economic and geopolitical power. However, the dollar's dominance has been questioned in recent years. The growing economic influence of China, trade tensions between the United States and its trading partners, and growing concern about US debt have led some countries to seek alternatives to the dollar. The proposal for a Brics currency is part of this context of seeking a new multipolar financial order. The creation of a Brics currency could have a significant impact on the global financial system. If the new currency gains international acceptance, it could reduce demand for the dollar and affect its value. This could have negative consequences for the US economy, which would be affected by inflation and loss of purchasing power. The proposal for a Brics currency has not been well received by former US President Donald Trump, who has threatened to impose 100% tariffs on products from Brics countries if they implement the new currency. Trump has accused the bloc of currency manipulation and has warned that he will not allow the United States to be cheated by its trading partners. Trump's tariff threat has generated concern within the Brics. A full-scale trade war between the United States and the bloc would have devastating consequences for the global economy. Tariffs would raise product prices, reduce international trade, and affect economic growth. Despite Trump's threat, the Brics have reiterated their commitment to move forward with the creation of a new currency. Lula has defended the bloc's right to seek alternatives to the dollar and has assured that Brazil is prepared to face any retaliation from the United States. The Brics represent a group of countries with enormous economic potential. Together, these nations are home to almost half of the world's population and represent a significant portion of global GDP. Their influence on the world economy has been steadily increasing in recent decades. The creation of the Brics as a formal group in 2009 marked a milestone in cooperation between these emerging economies. The bloc has established mechanisms for dialogue and cooperation in areas such as trade, investment, technology, security, and global governance. The main objective of the Brics is to promote the economic and social development of its members, as well as strengthen their voice in international affairs. The bloc seeks a fairer, more equitable and multipolar world order, in which developing countries have a greater role. In recent years, the Brics have expanded their membership, further consolidating their position as a key player in the global economy. In January 2024, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, United Arab Emirates, Ethiopia, and Iran joined the bloc, bringing their economic and geopolitical weight. The incorporation of Indonesia as a full member in January 2025 marked another milestone in the expansion of the Brics. Indonesia, the largest economy in Southeast Asia, brings to the bloc a growing consumer market and a strategic location in a dynamic region. In addition to full members, the Brics also have a number of strategic partners, including Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Nigeria, Thailand, Uganda, and Uzbekistan. This network of countries reflects the growing appeal of the Brics as a platform for cooperation for developing nations. Brazil and the United States, trade ties and geopolitical tensions. Brazil and the United States have a complex relationship, marked by strong trade ties and at the same time by geopolitical tensions. The United States is one of Brazil's main trading partners, being a major destination for Brazilian exports, especially manufactured goods. However, the proposal for a Brics currency and Donald Trump's tariff threat have generated friction in the bilateral relationship. Brazil's stance in favor of greater financial autonomy for the bloc challenges U.S. interests and could have significant implications for trade between the two countries. Despite the tensions, Brazil and the United States share common interests in areas such as the fight against climate change, regional security, and cooperation in multilateral forums. The search for a balance between cooperation and competition will continue to be a challenge for both countries in the future. Towards a new world financial order, the proposal for a Brics currency, the expansion of the bloc, and the growing trade tensions between the United States and China raise questions about the future of the global financial order. Some analysts believe that we are witnessing a gradual shift towards a multipolar system, in which the US dollar would cease to be the only dominant reserve currency. The creation of a Brics currency could accelerate this process, offering a viable alternative to the dollar for international trade. However, the transition to a new multipolar financial order would be complex and could generate instability in global financial markets. How the international financial system evolves will depend on a number of factors, including the evolution of the global economy, relations between the great powers, and the ability of the Brics to consolidate their position as a key player in global financial governance. The impact of de-dollarization. De-dollarization, that is, the reduction of dependence on the US dollar in international trade and finance, is a complex process with far-reaching implications. If the Brics currency gains international acceptance, it could accelerate de-dollarization and challenge the hegemony of the dollar. De-dollarization could have both positive and negative consequences. For countries seeking to reduce their dependence on the dollar, de-dollarization could provide them with greater financial autonomy, reduce their exposure to dollar fluctuations, and strengthen their trade relations with other countries that use alternative currencies. However, de-dollarization could also generate instability in financial markets, affect the value of the dollar, and generate uncertainty in international trade. The impact of de-dollarization will depend on how the transition to a more multipolar financial system is managed. An uncertain future for global trade. The future of global trade is uncertain in a context marked by growing geopolitical competition, trade tensions between major powers, and global economic uncertainty. The proposal for a Brics currency, Donald Trump's tariff threat, and the expansion of the bloc are factors that add complexity to the landscape. How global trade evolves will depend on the ability of countries to cooperate and find solutions to common challenges. Dialogue, negotiation, and respect for international rules will be essential to avoid an escalation of trade tensions and promote a fairer, more open, and rules-based global trading system. The future of global trade will depend on the decisions that world leaders make in the coming years. Cooperation or confrontation will be the two possible paths, and their consequences will mark the fate of the global economy.